But is ball security really that important? Is it the most important thing for championship level quarterback play? The answer is no, not even close. The most important characteristic for a quarterback to have, a championship level quarterback to have, is authenticity. And to go even further, the most important thing is to allow a quarterback to play consistent and within his personality. What do I mean by that? Well, to help show us what I'm talking about, we need to look no further than a Southern quarterback legend in Brett Favre. Brett Favre. Take out his rookie season in the NFL where he barely played. In the 19 seasons that followed, he threw 334 interceptions. That is a staggering number. 334 interceptions. In 19 seasons, he averaged close to 18 interceptions per season. You play 16 regular season games in the NFL. He was averaging 18 interceptions per season. 334 interceptions. It's hard for me to even wrap my mind around that. But despite that, despite 334 interceptions in a 20 season, it was actually 336 total interceptions in a 20 season career, he's widely considered one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. When you talk about quarterbacks in the NFL, the Mount Rushmore, if you will, of quarterbacks in the NFL, Brett Favre, to a lot of people, is on that mountain. He is one of the all-time great quarterbacks in the NFL. And I mean, his stats, his numbers, his accolades back it up. Super Bowl champion, 3-time MVP, Hall of Famer. Ball security was not one of the characteristics you would use to describe Brett Favre. When people talk about Brett Favre, one of the first things they bring up is his larger-than-life personality. Brett Favre was dynamic and loud and brash and confident off the field, and that personality translated on the field. On the field, Brett Favre was a gunslinger. He took shots. He was bold. He threw the ball as hard as he could. He took chances. I think the best video I saw that explained who Brett Favre was as a quarterback was in a film breakdown he did with John Gruden on ESPN. In that breakdown, Brett Favre kind of gave a glimpse, if you will, into the mindset he had as a quarterback. John Gruden had just talked extensively about a famous and very common and standard go-to passing concept in the NFL and throughout football, Fox 2XY hook. It's one of, like I said, the most common passing concepts in football. It's designed for the tight end to basically catch the ball over the middle of the field. And one of the reasons it's so successful is because outside, a wide receiver flies down the field and runs a big post pattern, a big post route. And what this big post route does is it basically takes the attention of the safety. And so as the safety is drifting up the field further and further, trying to cover this post route, space underneath opens up for the tight end who is running like a hook or a crossing pattern or something along those lines. The wide receiver that runs that big post play is a decoy, a distraction. The play is designed for that wide receiver to be a distraction. And if the tight end's covered up over the middle, then you swing it out to a running back or an out route to a receiver just kind of underneath as a check down. So basically you either throw it to the tight end or it's a check down. So John Gruden sets up this play, runs through how the progressions are supposed to be. Brett Favre looks at John Gruden and says, "That made perfect sense to me, John. I understood it. But my first thought on any play was home run." And John Gruden kind of laughed, and I think he was kind of shocked and said, "On every play?" And Brett, without missing a beat, said on every play. This is a mindset that Carolina has lacked over the past few years. Last year alone, Carolina ranked 12th out of 14 teams in the SEC in yards per passing attempt. 12th out of 14 teams in yards per passing attempt in the SEC. In other words, Carolina did not have a strong vertical passing attack. Forget strong vertical passing attack. They didn't have a vertical passing attack. Now, one of the reasons was because of wide receiver play. But part of the reason was because Mike Bobo and Will Muschamp ran a conservative ball protection offense. Limit the turnovers. Limit the mistakes. Carolina went 2-8 playing that kind of football in the passing game. Conservative play calling, holding back, limiting mistakes. That doesn't really do much when you can't score points. What's the good of limiting mistakes if you're getting blown out 45-16 to Georgia? What's the good in limiting mistakes when you're losing to Missouri and Kentucky